Alright guys, welcome back. Here is a drill I unfortunately forgot to put in for the update video. About some people had asked some questions about what are the other drills you did for the Hogan project. So call this a quarter impact drill. This one I've probably done 5,000 times or so over the last 5 or 6 weeks. Low stress drill because you can do it. Obviously, if you have an impact bag, you should do it indoors. If you live anywhere near the south of the United States, it's so hot. And you don't have to hit golf balls, and it's a great way to train, especially for if you tend to flip, if your pivot tends to stop. So we'll do a little walk through here. Now I call it quarter because I'm trying to feel like this is a quarter of a golf swing. And it's funny how a lot of times you'll feel like a golf swing is short, and then you'll go, okay, boy, it seems to get a little longer, doesn't it? But I'm trying to start in my mind when the shaft is perfectly level to the ground, and just use my hips, my knees, my ankles, which are going to wind up my torso, which is going to drive my shoulders, which is going to move my arms, which will move the shaft, which will move the club head, with zero movement of my wrist. Okay, so there's where I would like to be at impact. Maybe a little far forward for some people with the shaft, but again, hips are open, right knee's moved, hips are open, left knee's not locked up, no visible or feel of any movement of the wrists flipping. And again, this was something I was doing to really just drive my pivot. Mentioned before, I'd picked up some information over the years for my own swing, which was maybe not perfectly correct for my own swing, about sliding your hips. And if you think about the downswing, 3/10 of a second if you're pretty slow, 2/10 of a second if you're fast, normal to fast. Not much time to slide your hips and turn. So if you're like me and you have very slow turning hips naturally, and you were taught to slide your hips, and then you look at your swing on video, you go, wow, my hips are square at impact, that could be the reason. So a drill like this for me was to really train my hips to deliver the golf club and keep moving. And it was interesting, I read, I believe it was Jody Vasquez, his book, Afternoons with Mr. Hogan, where he talked about Mr. Hogan said that he felt like his hips were 90 degrees open at impact. Obviously they weren't, but I'm certainly trying to get a look and feel of close to 45-degree open hips at impact as possible. And for me, starting with such a short swing also helps me speed up my hips. So I go, wow, I've got no time to deliver this club with. I better get my hips going pretty soon and pretty far around. So there's one view. So there's the look I'm looking for. I call this a hip plane. So the hips are working on a very similar plane, even though it's a very short back and through swing. What I call two cheeks at impact, with some bend in the right elbow. And again, no active participation from the wrists in this particular little swing, because I know as the swing picks up speed and momentum of the club, obviously my wrist will unhinge involuntarily. So why do something that I don't have to do, which is ever try to move the club with my wrists. And this gets pretty close to that Mr. Hogan look through the follow-through, right? Where the hands start to disappear left, but the club stays out here visible. So that's another little added benefit of working this drill when you do it correctly. So wanted to add that in for you guys, and then if you've got some questions, please let me know, and thank you for watching.